Hello, birdie people, and welcome to March. Oh, hi, March. I didn't see you there. Well, how is it already March? I know that February is short, but it's already March? Ah! Well, enough of that. I'm on my way back home, as in to base, but I'm stuck in traffic, as you can see by the ridiculous speed I'm traveling at. It's really ridiculous, because I don't even know what's happening. There's an accident or something. I'm done. Like, look, my truck is empty. There's nothing. There's like two things I have to... Wait, there. I have like two things to bring to a post office. And that's it. So I'm just wasting away time. Yeah. That's it. Might as well use the time to let you know that... Did you know that I have a newsletter? Yeah, it's called Brews Clues, because News Clues is still reserved for when Piper and I inevitably bring back the podcast. It is more a scheduling issue and a energy levels issue than anything else. Like, I have a mic, we have a mic, she has a mic, everything's fine. There's enough funny news now that we can make fun of and quiz each other on. But yeah, that's it. Brews Clues, there's a link in the description. Or here, somewhere. I will find editing magic to make it appear here. And that's it. That's all I got for now. It's the beginning of the week, which is good. I'm working 5 days in a row. And then, because of the wonderful world of Germany's 38.5-hour work week, I have a long weekend. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I have no idea what I'm going to do. That's as clear as my plans are for the weekend. So, onwards, and let's see what happens later. Bye. Alright, or we don't go home, we go back to base, and they tell you, hey, can you go help somebody who broke down because, well, he broke down. And I said, yeah, whatever. And you know what? That felt good. That felt good. Even though I was in a completely different part of town, and the GPS completely, pardon my French,
Bambini.
bad. Like, I couldn't even use the system. I was like, great. I could already be home, and I don't know what, but, you know, it's good, because, you know, it's actually something that I really appreciate here in one of, like, I would say like this, especially working for a bigger company, like, it's really nice because, like, you really feel like everybody is kind of like watching each other's back, like, in a way. Like, whenever we see each other, we just wave. And I know one other company, one other community that does that too, which is those guys, which is motorcycles. And I used to ride motorcycles, and I hope I can do that again one day. But we just stick 2 fingers out, and then you get 2 fingers back, and you don't feel so alone on the road. So it's really nice that, you do that here too. Even though we don't know each other, we just say hi, because it's nice. It's a nice thing to do. It's nice doing nice things. So do nice things. Do it. It makes you feel good too.
So luck just has it that I'm delivering at the same address again, of some art that I posted on Instagram, and I just wanted to show you how massive these things are. Look how huge these pieces of art are. It's like absolutely massive. This was the most astounding one, is this one. It's like, how cool is this? So I'm delivering again at the address where I took the pictures for Instagram, which you can see here. And like, this is how massive the art is. And it's just behind this gate. Like, these meter scale. Like, look how huge. Absolutely astounding.
So here's a joke that I'm definitely going to hell for. There's an undertaker over there. The same undertaker is over here, on the other side of the street. Do they have 2 locations in case, I don't know, their customers are trying to cross the street and die before they can make an appointment? I just don't get it.
Oh, hey, look, it's a bird friend. Hello, bird friend.
Hey look, it's another bird friend. And more bird friends. And more bird friends. Oh, come actually at me. Uh-oh. And more bird friends.
Oh, hi. It's me. Taking a break. As you can see, there's a almost empty car behind me. Because I don't know what happened. Like, I was in a flow state this morning, and now I'm in this rare opportune moment in which I not only can take a break, but also take that break. I don't know. It's a horrible thing when you know that working is what your employer wants, but also doesn't want, because we have unions and stuff here in Germany. But that's just how work over the years indoctrinated your behavior patterns. Like, even the question that I'm asking myself, do I deserve a break? The answer is yes. And I know this. And yet, here we are. I'm going to take this break. I'm going to enjoy this break. And I'm going to enjoy it with you, because here's something that I would like to talk about. It's about work, but also not about work. So as you know, the color scheme is clear, and here's a name. I work for DHL. So I work for the mail. I'm not going to say anything about DHL, because the job is nice. But I am going to say something about, again, systematic change. Yes, Alex talked about systematic change. Something that becomes clearer and clearer to me every single day. I drive in different districts, different neighborhoods, some multi-story buildings, some single-family homes, stuff like that. But what becomes abundantly clear is that this cannot stay. Like, the system that we have here, and this is just a mail, but it applies to many other systems as well. It cannot stay. It couldn't stay for about 20 or 30 years, but it did. Now it has a nice moment because everybody is at home, and just like the entire society changed, so it just can't stick around. What I'm trying to tell you is this. More and more times, I go to a place, and then I ring the doorbell, and somebody's home because they're in their home office, etc., etc. And I can deliver the package. Then, if they're not there, I ring the neighbor's doorbell, and they can take the package. Sometimes they don't. That's a whole different issue, where neighbors don't trust each other. I don't know who's living next to me. Incognito mode in the big city, urbanism. Not talking about that. But eventually, the panini will be over. All right? Eventually, everybody goes back to work, unless of course the system changes, and working from home in jobs that are applicable to that system is okay, and school from home and university from home and stuff like that. All right, hope is out on that. But especially my job requires a system to be in place that is such a nostalgic 1950s and before, that doesn't apply anymore, which is the single income household. Because in order for me to do my job, somebody needs to stay home, because otherwise they're not there. I don't order much. I had to order a belt, I had to order certain things that I need, but I try not to order anything because I'm not home anyway. Like, I'm delivering the mail, and I cannot receive my mail because I work during business hours. Now, usually they leave it at like a post office or whatever, but I don't know when I have the next day off. Sometimes it's like a week later, or on Sundays. Sundays is the only day that I know I have off, and sometimes it shifts. But Sundays, well, no post offices are open on Sundays. So going back to the point, the single income household is not a thing. It is a thing in very fortunate situations, but like, what? Like, how are we going back to that? You know, like, it's not. Like, you can't. And there's so many other things. And there's a quote I heard earlier this week, and it's from E.O. Wilson. He's an American naturalist, writer, and I think biologist. Yeah, he's a biologist first, then he's a naturalist, then he's a writer. And he said this. What he discovered over the years is that we
live in a world in which we are dominated by Paleolithic emotions, medieval systems and institutions, and godlike technology. And I will summarize this grand thought in my not biologist, naturalist, or writer capacity, because it is like we're inherently steered by emotions, as you can see time and time again on the news, in emotional responses to whatever is happening, and the Weltschmerz. This is the German word for it, which is like you just you emote and you empathically receive everything around you, etc., etc. All of these things are really like lizard brain, like really like deep down there, and that's okay as long as you're aware of that. That's okay. Then medieval institutions. So this is something like banks. Like we don't need banks. Like I don't need to go to a bank. Like most of the money is digital in nature, or it's not physical. All right, it's not there. So it's a Goldfinger scenario where all the bank's money is in the bank. No, it's all in a computer. Institutions like that, or even procedures like I registered now in Cologne. They couldn't find me in the system because I haven't been in Germany in 6 years. All right, 6 years is not a long time. 6 years is not a long time in bureaucracy. They couldn't find me because they apparently archived my file back in Hamburg, so they couldn't access it on the computer in Cologne. What? Do you have like a paper printout that you have like in a little file fax or whatever it is? Like what? What? That and medical records and stuff like that. Like it's in some regions. In some areas where I lived in America, some are digital, so your doctor can access, sometimes even across states, your medical records, if you give permission, etc., etc. And that's all fine and good, but like, we could have had that in the 80s. Like we could have had that on the nice black and green DOS screen. Like we could have had that, and we just don't. What? And then godlike technology. Like I can talk to you right now on my phone, and you can see this wherever you are in the world, as long as you have internet. And you can talk back to me too. Like you can leave a comment down there, and I can see that. Like what? Like suddenly distance doesn't matter, only time does. Like one of the things that I'm most sad about is that most of my friends are in time zones that are not accessible easily to me because you're all asleep, or you're going to bed, or other things. Like I have no problem driving 6 to 12 hours. I did that once for a joke. It was a good joke. And then I drove back. But that was fun because we were in the same time zone, so we could talk as we did the thing. But then like this, it doesn't work. Like Piper and I said this in a previous in this video actually earlier on. The biggest problem Piper and I are having reviving news clues is not a lack of news. It's not the technology. It's not anything. It is that I go to bed when she just gets off of work, and then I get up when she's about to go to bed. Like there can be things done like on days off or whatever, but it's like how it is. Like on Sundays I have off. Most of the times, like on the weekends, you just need to like unwind and not do anything. But yeah, so going back to the thing, like I have no idea how we cannot use the panini as a opportunity for radical systematic change. Because like it can't go. Like you can only take this. And I know that like it's not lizard brain, but it's definitely like humans, whenever they find something that works, they just stick to that. They do not look for improvement in most cases. They do not like to change something that they learned, that they know that worked. And I really don't get it. Like, if we could all have a nicer, easier, cooler life in a way, like why not do it? Like what? Like ooh,
like legislature can be changed, and politics can be like changed. Like I don't know, like, and this doesn't necessarily need to lead towards like me talking again and again about universal basic income, but like stuff like that is like, oh, this doesn't work, we've never done it. Like, yeah, there's studies, like we can just do it, just do it. Oh, we can't do this because we didn't vote for this. It's like, who didn't vote for this? Like, none of the politicians that I know went to politics school. You know, like they just had the job. Some of them really suck at it. Ted Cruz, and like they still they get to do what they do. Anyway, like don't stand in the way of progress, even though it doesn't. It will not even affect you in most cases, because most of the politicians that are inherently conservative and traditionalist, and nothing again, like there are places and times for tradition, but some of them are outdated, and you can just like get on with it, because you will not experience the legislation. The people who are complaining will not experience the legislation that will then be put into place. You know, like if I now live again in a country where there are no student loans. Okay, like we pay for university, but it's like depending on state by state or even city, because Hamburg, where I'm from, is a city state. Like you just make your own. You make your own, like how much it costs. But like nobody's like in student debt and like crippling student debt until they're like 50 or something, you know? Or there's like a payment plan, you just like pay it off over time, and it's good. It's fine. But like if there are Americans out there, and I know that there are, or other countries where education costs an arm and a leg, and you say, I don't want other people who get their student debt like wiped away because I worked for mine. Say, yeah, that's yeah, you did that. You had to do that. I'm sorry that you had to do that, but you also didn't have to do this if this system wasn't put in place in the first place. Like, I'm sorry, but because you suffered doesn't mean that everybody else has to suffer. And maybe there's a way, like the damage has been done to many by now generations, financially, to like retribution is gonna, like it doesn't make up the emotional damage that it did, and it's a big topic, and I meandered on, and my break is now over. But like it is just think about the world around you and what has to change, and then try to just do it. Like, I don't know, it all sounds so easy, and it's really not. And it's really frustrating, because most of the things that we or I complain about are things that didn't have to be like this in the first place. Okay, off to work. Talk to you later, bye!
Good morning, I just woke up to some wonderful news. The Minnesota Department of Transportation announced their new snowplow class of 2021. And there are some very good ones. Darth Blader, Duck Duck Orange Truck, F. Salt Fitzgerald. Oh, just gonna plow right past ya. Plow Bunyan, Plowy McPlowface, Snowy One Kenobi, and the truck formerly known as a plow. Now the thing is, there's also a comment on it, which I wish they would have won with. Abolish ICE.